I wanted to do this video for a while because this perspective is probably my favourite, and we're talking about Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Because it becomes a story about desperately trying to tape your world back together as it slowly crumbles around you, only to find out that you created a god out of a meth addict who ended up being bipolar. But to understand that, let me just put you in her shoes. So imagine for a minute that you are Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Now, you do not have powers or even a suit. Not even a cool nickname. You got Val. You live in a world where half the population got blinked out of existence by a purple Bruce Willis with a jewelry fetish almost twice. Your ex-husband ran off to go play diplomat with some super secret African nation with technological advancement so terrifying that the US government collectively shit itself. And he literally betrayed his country to do so. Also in this world, there is not one, not two, but 3 Captain Americas, where one became old overnight and disappeared. Another one flies around in a fancy wingsuit who got into a fist fight with the President of the United States after he turned into a not so jolly red giant. And then there's the other one that, you convinced to join you. US agent. Get it? Yes, because you're so fucking... Oh yeah, and there was also Isaiah Bradley, who was also technically a Captain America, who also took a shot at the fucking president. Justifiably so, he was locked up for many years and tested on. But it seems that the America in Captain America is a very loose statement to patriotism. But from an early age, you learned a harsh reality. There are no good people. There was that guy that went around in a metal suit who nuked himself for the planet. Well, he was actually a misogynistic war criminal with a god complex. But he had an incredible PR team. They even gave him a little statue of his heart. So you bought his tower. Why? Because it sends a message. Through the years you climbed, and you built a team of not heroes, beautifully broken people with the kind of trauma that therapists write sonnets about. But where other people see liabilities, you see assets. You want leverage. Because you don't need a hammer made of star material when you can simply whisper the right phrase at the right time and destroy a man's entire sense of self. See, that's real power. Finding weaknesses and exploiting them. But then one day, out of the blue, you get impeached. Impeached! You! For fucking black sites, unethical practices, a bit of light torture and some experimental sciences. Please, the CIA used to dose people with fucking LSD and call it a Tuesday. You do one tiny little super secret soldier program, suddenly everyone is losing their fucking minds. So you walk into that hearing like you own the room. He calls you.
Miss Fontaine.
He has made his mistake, because you can now assert dominance. Attack his character, attack his lack of preparedness. It's a small blow that forces him into a defensive position. It forces his amygdala to fire, makes him think that you don't respect him, putting him into an emotional state. Emotional people are way more likely to make a mistake, and that's what you need right now. You need them to make as many mistakes as you are right now, because everything's going wrong. But then he reads out your laundry list.
Unregulated labs in foreign countries and rumored human experimentation. All parts of an illegal operation to develop your own super...
Which is a bit concerning, because a lot of that stuff is pretty classified. Now, if anyone does find out about the disaster that was the Sentry Project, you're probably not going to go to the gulag in the ocean. It's probably going to be a little visit to the electric chair, which is something you want to avoid at all costs. So, naturally, you launch into a monologue. A beautiful, tear-jerking, totally not rehearsed speech that you did last night in the mirror about duty, country, and the unbearable weight of leadership. You say you're doing this for America because, well, you are. You are the last real patriot left in this world. The Avengers are gone. The guy that took over for Captain America fought the fucking president. The government is incompetent. They got another Avenger as a congressman. And so someone now needs to make the hard calls. Because, I mean, come on. Tony Stark went to the Middle East and killed a bunch of people there. The only difference is that you're killing drug addicts. And you're not even doing it on US soil. Come on. What people fail to understand, mainly because they're idiots, is that there is also a giant cosmic fucking corpse sticking out of the Indian Ocean right now, full of glowing alien metal that makes vibranium look like tinfoil. And if you had, I don't know, say 5 chemically enhanced demigods on your payroll, well, you could rewrite the entire global order. But instead of thanking you for thinking ahead, these smug little congressional sock puppets want to keep investigating you. Fine, let him. You nod. And you smile. You have to radiate control and poise, because while you're internally duct taping your sanity together, you need people to think that you're in control. And therein lies the problem. You are actually so used to being in control and having everything all planned out that this impeachment thing was just very inconvenient. If you had a little bit of warning to sort this all out, you wouldn't be making mistakes. Mistakes, they lead to loose ends. Luckily, your ever so efficient assistant
Can you please just say it normal?
informs you that all those pesky loose ends that may or may not be people are about to get tied up the old-fashioned way. The way the CIA used to do it, like frayed ends of a rope, sealed with fire.
All but one have checked in.
But one of those loose ends actually calls you. It was the girl that you convinced to join you by reframing her sister's, if that's the right word for their fucked up situation of whatever that was, is sacrifice was murder. And now she wants a forward-facing role. Apparently she wants to be like an Avenger or something. Fine, whatever, doesn't matter. You just need to play along long enough until she's the one that needs avenging. Loose ends are loose ends. And not to arouse suspicion, you end up throwing a fancy gala that night, in which that congressman started talking shit about it in all but 5 fucking seconds.
Yes, this is a beautiful fake event, Val.
And I mean, he might be a bit upset that you've surrounded yourself with all of these priceless trinkets and forbidden tech and
Because your investigation of my office came up clean.
Squeaky clean.
maybe the actual Avengers Tower. Like, the whole thing that you're doing here is a flex. Every chandelier that you have says, I could have built a hospital, but I didn't. Because power isn't strength, it's control. It's owning all the toys, it's owning all the boards, and it's owning all of the political opinion. And right now, you own it all. But this night does tick over.
How great.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Your little minion keeps updating you about the house party at the bunker.
Are you sure?
Oh my god.
Even Congressman Barnes shows up. He's working the room, trying to sway your donors with smirks and whatever it is that he does. Because, I mean, like, if he wasn't a century-old Soviet murder man programmed by Karl Marx, then it might work. But this man's got all of the charisma of a wet sponge, and he's somehow coasting along on jawline alone. And you just know that he's the kind of guy that would put that vibranium arm in the dishwasher. But eventually you do leave. And of course you're stuck riding the Red Guardian limousine, which is somehow a real business and not just a cry for help.
Guests? They've somehow evaded the housewarming gift.
She left the countdown in the incinerator, didn't she? It's not her fault. There were so many design problems going into that. Talk about the fucking power source need to be in the room to prevent Ghost from escaping because of some quantum-style Faraday cage design.
What?
Huh? But she also then tells you that apparently they're working together, and that there is a random guy there.
I need an ID on John Doe.
But then, the genius that you are, you decide that this is the perfect time to go over your entire evil plan in a car operated by a man whose literal name is spray painted on the side of another vehicle next to a Soviet star. Well, someone who is definitely his estranged sort of daughter is in a bunker that you are about to vaporize. Truly, this is just how far that you have fallen, and how much the stress of being uncovered has caused you to be sloppy and careless. which is weird, but what's one more body between friends?
It's the John Doe. He's Sentry Project.
Oh, well this is your ticket. If the Sentry program worked, then you have one person who can rival the Avengers. This impeachment is as good as over. The American government will have to bow to your whim.
What's the latest?
We're dug in, ma'am.
Right on time. And yes, you might have diversified your holdings with the Ox Group, but you are still the boss. So why is it some khaki-wrapped footnote is barking about lethal versus non-lethal protocols? You should be able to blink and watch these people sprint into traffic for you. But of course, they don't know that behind that door is probably the most powerful creature humanity's ever seen, because if they did, they would probably be whispering their prayers and not asking questions. And this whole operation... Get down! I can help! Well, it's a bit of a circus, honestly. Your elite extraction team is getting bodied by the PTSD Power Rangers. You're actually getting outmaneuvered by Captain Ahab and the emotionally unstable whales. And then it hits you. Something's wrong. Like, cosmically wrong. Could it be you? No, absolutely not. Don't be ridiculous. You are the plan. You don't make mistakes. This is obviously someone else's fault. Oh fuck, it's the John Doe. Oh, yeah. Definitely not you, it's the government employees. Seriously.
What the hell are you doing?
This guy was important. Oh boy, let's just hope he is actually the most powerful being in history, because he just got hit with more lead than a kid in the 50s. He's good, apparently we're all good. Project Sentry works, he can actually fly. You've done it, you've built a god out of trauma and narcotics. This impeachment hearing is over. You'll be running the country by Christmas. Maybe even the planet. Hell, maybe even space. Why the fuck not? You and this John Doe are going to be taking meetings on the moon.
I need you to connect me to our satellites. I need you to know exactly where he's going, and I need it now.
But then he crash lands somewhere, and it takes all night to get him.
You know, I don't say it enough, but I am so impressed that in circumstances like this, you can still get me a good cup of coffee.
But you have the Sentry. All that's left is to sprinkle a little bit of your motherly magic over this twitchy little super junkie, and you have America's next golden boy. Nobody's going to remember the screaming, the bodies, or the classified horror show that you unleashed onto random people. They're going to remember the hero. They're going to remember Sentry and who made him.
What about Elena and the others?
Nothing yet.
Get rid of them, Mel. They're the last piece of evidence.
So you fly back to New York. Your assistant is still droning on about the impeachment like that matters anymore. You have the golden goose. Maybe. You could even make his suit gold.
Have you read his file? Delusions of grandeur, depression. Someone that imbalanced, amplified by the treatment. People in the labs, they were just test subjects. You were never gonna be the one.
So he's perfect then. So much trauma that you could bottle it up and sell it at Goop. The more broken they are, the easier they are to steer. Arrogant? Even better. Arrogant people don't believe that they can be manipulated, or that they could even fail. You flash your assistant a look that says, I'm about to turn this meth goblin into a messiah.
Does this look nurturing enough?
Watch and learn. And you've planned it all. Your tone, your posture, the way that you casually place the Sentry bag on the table. Not too obvious, just enough to make his subconscious itch. He needs to ask, he needs to want, he needs to be curious about what's going on.
What happened to Elena?
Elena.
But then he ends up wanting to talk about them, the Dollar Store Avengers.
Those are not honest people. They're criminal.
Seriously, when you, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, is sitting right there, and he's asking about losers, so you start laying it on thick.
Let's just forget about them and let's focus on you.
Compliments, flattery.
You were lost, right? You were searching, and you found me.
You just need to give him enough that he gets addicted to your praise, and then he'll do whatever you ask. Yes, his brain is probably scorched from years of discount meth and unresolved mother issues.
I even know about the times your father...
Stop! No!
You almost screw it with that daddy comment, but you pivot like a champ.
I still want you to be my guy. And isn't that what you want? To be accepted? To be chosen?
But then for some reason, you're pulled into a trauma trip. You are forced to confront that you have basically killed your own father. Is this one of Bob's powers? That's not great. That's actually very not great. Having weaponized anti-therapy just floating around in your new weapon, it's kind of dangerous, considering political climates these days.
I can control it.
Very reassuring. Very, very reassuring. But hey, it's either this or getting sent to the ocean gulag with a shock collar, or worse. So you tell your plan to the assistant, and for some reason she grows a fucking spine mid-conversation.
You put a serum into someone like Steve Rogers, he becomes Captain America, but...
That's just fucking rude. She's talking about Steve Rogers like he's some kind of saint. Please, Steve Rogers probably bayoneted some civilians in World War II. Does she think that soldiers filed paperwork? So you do unload your philosophy, because there is no good or evil, only people too scared to do what needs to be done, because you're strong enough to be hated.
I mean, I thought you wanted to change the world for the better too.
Mel, let me know when you come to your senses.
Meanwhile, Bob's off getting styled like a mid-budget Greek god, old and black, blonde hair. Who needs a flag on nationalism? No, we're going off vibes and implied dominance. Red and blue, it's a bit too Captain America. No, gold. Gold says I belong to no one, except maybe my weird executive mum, and that I'm her golden goose. Still, his powers are a bit rough. But holy crap, he can move things with his mind? Not even Thor could do that.
You could do anything.
You whisper it, like a secret, a prophecy.
I'm the only one who knows what your true potential is, Robert.
Because that's the trick. You need to isolate him. You need to inflate him. You need to convince him that you are the only one that gets it. It's the classic cult leader playbook. Works like magic on bipolar messiah types with unresolved mother issues. But then they show up. Of course they do. Right on schedule. The B-list Avengers coming to crash your press moment. And your idiot guards open fire. Perfect. You told them not to engage.
Guys, I literally just put that drywall in.
Clearly, we've already established how absolutely incompetent they are.
Of all the monumental fights that happened exactly here where you're standing.
So you get to work in tearing their characters apart, attacking each one of their weak points with calculated precision, undermining John Walker's authority, attacking Elena's looks because she wanted to be the face, and undermining Bucky's foray into politics.
Look at you. You are all so adorable.
Your selection of words are careful, opting to demean them, diminish them, to make them emotional. You even tear into this so-called
The
Red
Red Guardian.
Of course you know who he is, but
What?
you can sniff out his need to be special, his need for attention and validation, and snuff it out. And your perfect acting skills make it seem like you just don't know. And Barnes even asks about Mel. It's almost sweet his affection for her, but she's like 20 and he's chronologically like 100 and physically he's still 40. It's weird. Oops, he gave up the cards now. So it's time for the big reveal. I mean, he's so giddy when you gas him up, you know? It's almost adorable, the way that he looks for the validation of these idiots.
They're going to witness the awesome power of Sentry as he takes down this ruthless group of rogue agents.
And you deliver your villain monologue about safety, power, American, blah, 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 blah. No one fucking cares about what you're saying. What matters is about how it looks. And it looks good.
You can call me the Sentry.
Please, don't do this. You do not need to listen to her.
Old Elena tries to talk no jutsu the Sentry, but you're deep in his head. The hooks are set. He is yours.
No one messes with the West Chesapeake Valley Thunderbolts!
Did he say that a Thunderbolts? Like Thunderbolt Ross? Why, Chesapeake, what? But you get to sit back and watch your star get to work on these idiots. And my God, your wildest dreams were surpassed. He is utterly unmatched. And you can see with each blow, with each exchange, he gains more and more confidence. And I mean, at a certain point, after he's taken a few knives and a few shots, you gotta question, why are they still fighting? It's unwinnable. He even knocks Bucky out with his own arm. And you're totally gonna get that footage framed and put it on the wall. But then the worst case happens.
They're not a threat to me, so why do I need to kill them?
Oh boy. Well, this is not good.
Why would a god take orders from anyone at all?
I think you're throwing around the word God a bit loosely there.
I mean, he ain't wrong, actually, but you are very quickly losing control of the situation. It's okay, though. You do actually have your trusty failsafe. But as your windpipe gets turned into spaghetti, you have a rare moment of clarity. Maybe you went too far. Were you overconfident? Maybe this was all... Oh no, thank God. Crisis averted. You might have actually done a little bit of self-reflection there. At least now, you don't need to change anymore. So Bob's dead. You can work with that. Say the prototype worked, but it failed at user error. Standard tech PR. And you leave, you don't check the body, because that would be sensible and responsible. You can just let it to your minions. And then you get downstairs. Ah, so he's alive. And flying. Cool. Cool.
Follow me!
Huh, saving people. I guess that makes sense because these are not superheroes, they're just heroes. But you do some quick calculations in your head, and I mean, with the crowd clapping, this definitely helps. You can spin this, you can make this into something that works in your favor, if they somehow beat a god. You do have the camera crew there, maybe you could make them the new Avengers?
You're safe, little one.
Holy fucking shit on a blanket, what just happened? Did that kid just die? Okay, so he is sending people into the Shadow Realm. Maybe you should have kept his hair brown because he does have a small resemblance to Sezo Kaiba.
It's time to do.
But this is actually sort of bad. Your all-powerful creation is making the whole world a shadow and everyone is disappearing into the pavement. Not great for optics. It seems like this is a bipolar episode, and who would have thought that superpowered depression would manifest itself like this? But then you spend the next, well, it feels like eternity, living through some of your old, worst memories, in some kind of like weird shame room, and going through all the horrible shit you did, and your father's death, and some other shameful secrets, even the night you lost your virginity to that guy who said he loved you, only to ghost you the next day. Arsehole, luckily you got your revenge by manipulating everyone around him. You even keep tabs on him now and then. He lives in a trailer in South Carolina living on welfare because every employer always seems to fire him after 1 week because of an email or two. No one fucks with Val. Anyway, without warning, you are back in New York. Great. Thankfully, you feel no shame, or that would have actually been a bit frustrating. But your new Avengers are there, with the Sentry, who has brown hair now for some reason, and is not a black shadow deity. Apparently they beat it. That's impressive, but it doesn't matter because you need to leap on this opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the new Avengers.
You got the camera crew, you got the Avengers, it's all there.
We own you now.
If you like the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. I have a bunch of these videos now, you might find something you enjoy. But thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. I just want to shout out my members real quick, especially Good Old Granite and Alexander Colburn. Thank you guys, your support means the world to me. I really appreciate it. And of course, Takaroon, Lavender, Zyla and Alan. Thank you. Have a great day and have a great life.